name is Giovanni Zelko. I'm the writer, director, and executive producer of LA Force, a feature-length film set here in Los Angeles. It's obviously a neo-noir film, and I'm excited for everyone to take a look at it. We shot all the locations here in Los Angeles and a couple places in New York and also in Washington, D.C., but it's predominantly set here in LA. You'll notice a lot of the wonderful locations like the Los Angeles City Hall and Police Department, that same iconic building which you'll see in many film noirs of the 1940s and 50s. So that was my homage to that era in having that building, that iconic building, set in some of the backgrounds of some key scenes. The premise of the film is essentially 4 vigilantes who have lost their wives to a brutal killing and robbery gone bad, and they go out into the city streets of Los Angeles looking for those who are responsible. And while they're doing that, 2 detectives that are veteran detectives in Los Angeles, LAPD, also are on track to find the people responsible for those murders. So you have these 6 characters essentially weaving in and out of each other while the bad guys are continuing to do what they're doing. And eventually the bad guys, the 2 detectives and the 4 vigilantes, all converge at a very climactic and exciting ending. So I hope you'll get a chance to see the film and enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it here in LA. My fascination with film noir began in film school, Boston University, many years ago, where I fell in love with not just the American film noir films of the 1940s and 50s, but also the French New Wave cinema that created many homages to that period, most notably from Jean-Pierre Melville, Le Samouraï, and also his first film, Bob the Flambeur. So fell in love with not just the look of the films from the 40s and 50s, but also the themes, the dark themes, the shadowy alleys, the cinematography. Some of the music is very striking. The perspective of placing the audience in the eyes of either a detective or a man that's been wronged, trying to right a situation, and placing the viewers in the mindset of the primary characters. Also navigating the underworld of a city like Los Angeles and the femme fatales that cross their paths and often do them more harm than another character with a gun that is trying to take them out. So all these themes are very fascinating to me, and I just love watching the films. Every time I watch a film I've seen many times, watch them over and over again, I find new nuances and elements that are just a joy to watch. But that's my fascination, I guess. It's the stories and also the cinematography. My advice to creating a film noir story as a screenwriter, I would say that first and foremost, you need to have the film or story bookended with 2 very traumatic events. So in LA Force, my film, I have the salon murder, which takes place, quintuple homicide, and that becomes the motivation for all the characters who move forward. And then the ending of the film is the collision of those characters to resolve that murder in the beginning. So I've basically bookended the entire structure of a 5-act play for the screenplay with 2 traumatic and exciting moments where you have a fuse lit at the beginning and the whole film is basically racing towards that end. And when we finally get to that ending, it's a very exciting and surprising thriller type ending where all the characters collide together and the story is resolved. The characterization, I would say, most importantly, is film noir characters to have some ambiguity between good and bad. A lot of the characters in film noir are living on the fringes of society, and although they have integrity and ethics, they don't necessarily align with the morality of the society they're in. So they're able to bend the rules to achieve their final end. And I think that makes for a much more interesting characterization and character arcs, and the audience will be more fascinated and driven into the story with those type of archetypal characters that are not black and white. They're somewhere in the middle, especially those trying to solve a murder or hunt down something, the great what's it.
Los Angeles crime is up over 100% for the fourth year in a row. Los Angeles is under siege by a historic crime wave with no end in sight.
Everyone sit tight, we'll be on our way shortly.
The entire country is in shock this morning by a horrific quintuple homicide that took place last night at a trendy hair salon. If an armed off-duty police officer isn't safe, who is?
Society has come unhinged, and it's only a matter of time before citizens start taking up arms to protect themselves.
Since you have taken office, there has been a spike in violent crimes, robberies, murder.
Pray for the soul of our city. There are just too darn many guns out there.
The LAPD has yet to make any arrest in their ongoing investigation.
What if it wasn't a robbery, but a hit gone bad made to look like a robbery?
The robbers were pros. Ghosts.
Dead men talk after all.
These are bad people.
That's the key. Follow the money.
Show me what you got.
A large shipment of guns was seized by the ATF and Border Patrol.
Times are different.
Survival of the fittest.
It doesn't bother you that we profit from the blood of our young brothers.
You think someone is bringing heavy hardware into LA? Machine guns, rockets, grenades?
I hope not.
We work on homicide. Let's give this to the ATF and the feds.
We're both on the same side, remember? I designed this to catch criminals, not spy on citizens. Who said anything about spying on citizens?
The four of our wives died together that night.
How did you know we were here?
What do we do now?
We can stop a lot of crime in LA.
Well, are you suggesting vigilante justice?
I wouldn't want it any other way.
Los Angeles had one of its bloodiest nights ever, with 4 separate incidents and 8 murders taking place across the city.
I had a bad feeling about this.
It's getting dangerous for everyone around here.
I will not have vigilante citizens taking the law into their own hands.
Mayor wants us to shelve the salon murder case and start catching the vigilantes.
Detectives, what a surprise. Any word on Kelly's murder?
Just find their killers.
I won't abandon Dawn.
You got yourself a war.
I'm gonna arm my customers from coast to coast.
Now, if you really want to save lives, you'll deliver. Quit stalling.
There's a revolution coming. Find them, kill them.
We made a deal. Why stick our necks out and get killed? Why? For who?
Is someone coming for us?
I won't stand by and watch the world around me burn, fella.
I love war.